Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a good one. Mine, obviously, is a very sloppy one, but, you know, could be worse. I was looking at the weather yesterday, last night more accurately, to put together my plan for today, and I figured, you know what? When the snow comes through, let's just go ahead and just stay parked, let it blow over, and then we'll figure out what to do once I get an idea of what the temperature's like, what the roads are like, and then we'll carry on from there. So, woke up this morning, looked outside, saw it was still snowing, checked the radar. Snow's going to be on for a couple more hours. So I was like, all right, let's just sit tight, let's just let this blow over. Give the plows a chance to clear the roads, get salt down, all that good stuff, and then we'll figure out what to do about rolling, because I'm in the catbird seat when it comes to how fast my load needs to get to its destination. It's not due in till tomorrow morning, and it's just a little ways inside Illinois, essentially. Well, comparatively speaking. So I've got a tremendous amount of flexibility when it comes to getting this delivery completed, at least as far as today is concerned. I mean, obviously I get there on time tomorrow, but I've only got a little ways to go, 6.5 hours today, so I had tremendous flexibility. Didn't need to worry about trying to rip off, 600 miles or whatever. I've only got, 300 and change to roll today, that's a cakewalk, no problem at all. So I sat tight, let the weather blow over, and now here we are. And I'm on the turnpike out of, I figure, necessity more than anything else. I don't want to be on the turnpike. I don't like the turnpikes because of their expense and the cost associated with rolling on them. But because it's the turnpikes and because it's the only major interstate in this part of Ohio, it's beggars cannot be choosers, because it's going to be the first major road network that's going to be cleared by plows and salted, because you got to make room for all of, us truckers. We got to get stuff from A to B. We need the turnpikes, we need the interstates. So here we are. But on the subject of turnpikes, I want to tell a story, a situation that happened to me yesterday while I was in Pennsylvania. When I was getting on the turnpike, coming off of another road there, it's real clear, off of another road onto the turnpike. I'm being vague for a reason. When I was getting on the turnpike in Pennsylvania, you got to go through a toll gate, toll booth, toll gate, whatever you want to call it. Now, Pennsylvania and Ohio are in the process of changing over to the arches, the archways, where you just keep rolling. There's no more stopping at toll booths unless you got cash. They're going to pull off of the main flow of traffic to go through a cash booth, which is fair, because most of us have transponders, so it just clears up that roadblock headache a little bit faster there. Anyway, this particular toll gate plaza was still the reader through a standard toll gate lane. Now it's me and a couple other trucks, we're all in line abreast, and we're going through kind of at the same time. I came out a little bit ahead of the truck next to me. What I did not know is that ahead of me, all of those lanes converge down to one for the on-ramp onto the road itself. Now, it's me ahead of the truck in the middle lane, and then the truck in the left, the far left, he's ahead of both of us. So he's got lead position. I'm in second place. This guy in the middle's in third place. Now, I think of this stuff as NASCAR style, racing style. Like, okay, whoever's got a leading position, you yield to that person, because to me that just makes sense. The guy in the middle lane apparently did not agree, and he believed that I should yield to him because his lane was the lane that was being merged down into from the far left and my lane, the far right. I was ahead of him. I didn't see his signal if he was trying to signal, but all I hear is his air horn. I glance over and he's just pitching a blue fit at me. At that moment, I had no idea why. I pulled ahead. The guy who was in the truck in the lead position, I yield play out here. Let this four-wheeler figure himself out, and then we'll go. Guy behind me gets in the left lane. He catches up to me, comes up abreast of me, and he is just laying on his air horn, and he is losing his mind in my assessment because he's just hooting and hollering with his air horn, and he's screaming at me from the cab of his truck. And I'm just like, I'm ignoring it, because if he's going to road rage at me, I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to feed the troll. I'm just going to stay in my lane, and we're going to keep on moving. So he finally gets tired of the fact that I'm ignoring him, and he gets on ahead of me. Gap in traffic opens up. I get over, because he's already, 100 yards ahead, and I start accelerating. I get up to speed, and I'm catching up to him, and I'm getting behind him in the right lane. He slows down. I get the left lane to pass. He blocks me immediately. I figure, all right, let's take a moment here. Because my gut told me he was being a jerk and just was blocking me because he was mad about me blocking him or whatever his assessment was at that toll plaza. But I figure, okay, let's maybe the option 2 here is what's actually happening. Maybe he sees a car with the hazards on it on the shoulder and he's being safe. Let's just give it a moment, let it breathe, let's not be stupid here. Let's see if there's a safety situation on the shoulder. There was not. I'm like, okay. I get in the right lane. He blocks me again. And now he's holding me at 55 miles an hour just to be a jerk. All right, that's it, son. So because he was a company driver, I called his company. Got a hold of the safety department, gave him his truck number and his trailer number, and I said, look, this is the situation. This is what happened. This is the full story. And I told their folks, I said, look, I cannot say unequivocally that I am not at fault in this situation. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I didn't do something correct, because these toll plazas, they choke down sometimes. Maybe I am the guy who's really at fault in the situation. And if that was the case, I'd happily apologize, because this situation could have been avoided. Maybe if I'd known the road better, so on and so forth. I was willing to take ownership of my contribution to this situation. But I told him, it's like, okay, you blab your air horn at me, you fart your Jake brake at me, you make rude gestures at me, that's fine. You know what, that's just the road, stuff happens. You leave it at that, no problem, because it's just words and gestures and air horns, no one's getting hurt. However, the moment you begin to weaponize your vehicle against me, you are now introducing an element of unsafe action into a situation where we as CDLA holders just cannot behave in that capacity. And I told him that straight up, like, this is why I'm calling you. If he had just flipped me off and blown his air horn, I wouldn't be calling you. But because he used the truck against me, that's why I'm calling you. Because it's just not professional, it's not safe. And that's true. Because, let's be real here, fellow drivers, not a one of us out here is an angel. Every single one of us has screwed up somehow, some way. Either by accident, didn't see a sign, didn't see a lane change thing, didn't, stay in one lane too long, didn't see somebody, almost ran them off the road. We've all made these mistakes. We're all going to make these mistakes because we're human. And that's okay. I'm willing to give grace to folks in these situations. I might cuss them out because, they weren't paying attention or whatever. But at the end of that situation, as long as no one wrecks, no one gets hurt, I can vent my spleen in the cab of my truck and keep on going, and no one has a problem. We're all fine. We just get through the situation and we move. But we're driving landlocked, land-based, guided missiles. There is more weight on one of our steer tires than the total gross weight of any four-wheel vehicle we might encounter on the road at any given time. I think the average pickup weight is maybe 5,000 pounds at best. That's still lighter than the weight one of our steer tires is supporting. we have to be very mindful of the fact that we are not driving cars that are designed to ablate around the occupants in such a way that in an accident, the vehicle sacrifices itself by design to preserve the occupants, to preserve the drivers. There's crumple zones, there's airbags, there's foam inserts, there's all kinds of stuff that are in vehicles, standard four-wheel vehicles, to protect the occupants in the event of a high-speed collision. Or even a low-speed collision, whatever. There is none of that present in a semi-truck. It's a steel frame, and it looks like our front end might have crumple zones, but that's just aerodynamics. It's all fiberglass and sheet metal. Nothing about that is soft or safe. It's all deadly. We are driving missiles, and as soon as we use one of these missiles against somebody else in an unsafe fashion, especially at highway speed, at that moment we have ceased to be professional drivers, and we have become someone who is unworthy of holding a CDLA license. I don't care if you had a bad day and I just happen to set you off. As soon as you lose your cool like that, you deserve to get reported. You deserve to have a cop come out of nowhere, pull you over, and take your license. Because you're not being safe. I don't care if I was in the wrong 100% or even 1,000%. As soon as you weaponize your vehicle against me, any complaint you have against me, no matter how wrong I was, immediately goes out the window, because you have placed public safety at risk to make your point because you're mad. And there's just not a place for that in trucking. That is my diatribe for the day, and some story time to